Good morning. John and I have come to Grenada to take the ASA, which is the American Sailing Association, Catamaran sailing course. So we get on the boat tomorrow and we'll be on that boat for 6 days, and we will learn everything from ASA 101 to ASA 114 and leave with our ASA Catamaran certification, something I think insurance companies will like.
Grenada is an island in the Caribbean at the very southern tip of the chain of islands called the Windward Islands. It consists of 3 islands, the main island of Grenada and 2 smaller islands, Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Being volcanic in origin makes it very mountainous with steep slopes and lush green vegetation. Grenada today is a mixture of African, East Indian, and Caribbean ancestry influenced by French and British who once colonized the island. Today, most of the population is on the southern end, including the capital of St. George. Grand Anse Bay, located by the red arrow, seems to be the most popular with beach-loving tourists. For this adventure, John and I started in Seattle. We flew through Miami to Grenada.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grenada. Local time is 3:10 p.m.
It's absolutely beautiful here. We are currently at the Sea Breeze Hotel, which is a kind of a budget hotel, but for $85 a night, it was perfectly fine. We had a few problems with the room, but they fixed them right away. And it's in a great location. It's not on the beach, but it's just about a 2 or 3 minute walk from the beach. So yeah, here we are. We'll let you know how it goes. Bye.
This is Moksha. She is a 44-foot Fountaine Pajot catamaran, and she is our home and our schoolhouse for the week. Moksha is an owner's version, meaning one full hull is dedicated to the owner's suite. Here is the helm. I like that you can access it from the cockpit or the deck. That means that the helmsman is not separated from people in the kitchen or in the cockpit. The dinghy hangs from the davits off the stern, and this teak, it gets really hot, but the sugar scoops make a nice place to jump in and snorkel.
Pardon the condition of the boat. We've all been living here comfortably. So cockpit, we eat out here. We barbecue out here. And then we have, here is our galley. We have not used the oven. There's no sense. It's just too hot. This portion of the boat there are 2 cabins and 2 heads. That's where our captain and the other gentlemen who are with us are staying, so I won't go down there. Our electronic station here. You can tell we just do not sit inside. 2 fridges here, very storage for let's pantry, dry goods. I forgot to point out. There's a freezer here. Okay, now let's go down into John and I's. We did not make our bed, so you'll just have to deal with it, because look, it's a mess, and it's blooming hot in here sometimes. So here is the master stateroom. It's got a really nice desk. Here is storage. One thing I kind of like, lots of storage closet space here. A lot of area for hanging clothes. That's unusual on a boat. And I like this head. The actual head, the potty, is actually in its own little closet, which is nice because it's stinky in there. And then more storage. And we've been showering in the ocean and just rinsing off, you know, on the back step and shampooing our hair and stuff on the back step. But it's a really nice, comfortable. We are going to a fancy place tonight, so I'm actually going to take a real shower. Everything's falling on the floor because we really had a ride this morning, but it was good. Good practice.
Here we are on the first morning. We had anchored in Grenada Bay last night. We've just pulled up our anchor, and John is guiding us out of the bay. Just as soon as we left the protection of the bay, this is what we encountered as we headed north.
So this is what a day of beating up wind looks like. Beautiful hair, huh? There's nothing I can do about it. So yesterday we partially sailed from Grenada Bay on Grenada all the way up to this little bay on Rond Island. And Rond Island is in between Carriacou and Grenada. So this morning, and we had to really motor most of the way because we were directly into the wind all day long. This morning, we got up and we, again, were directly into the wind and we motored. And, just, you can see the face, wind burn. From Rond Island up to Carriacou Island, and we're now we're kind of on a mooring ball in between Sandy Island and Carriacou. And I'll show it to you here in a minute. It's absolutely gorgeous. We did get some sailing in. Once we got into the lee of Carriacou, then we got some practice in, doing some tacking, doing some jibing. We are practicing our catching mooring balls, anchoring, all of that communication between the crew. And it's actually been a lot of fun. So we've spent 2 nights on the boat already, and they've been very comfortable nights. We had a pretty good rain squall last night, but it's been great. We're having a good time. We're learning a lot.
This is Carriacou. It's an island just north of Grenada, and we are currently on a mooring ball in the channel between Carriacou and this amazingly beautiful place called Sandy Island. Look at that. That is my definition of paradise. Now, let me give you an idea of what a typical day of class would look like. Approximately 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, we get up, we make our coffee, we enjoy it out in the cockpit, and then we start our morning classes. Before we leave, we always plot that day's route the old-fashioned way, using real charts, a parallel ruler, and dividers. We calculate the best sailing route and approximately how long it will take. Of course, all the fancy electronic equipment will do the same thing, but it's really important to know how to use these tools in case the electronics fail. Once we're done with classes for the day, we pull up our anchor and head out to practice our skills. Here you see us pulling into Tyrrell Bay on Carriacou Island to practice our docking skills. Each student has a turn at the helm and a turn at being the line person. Unfortunately, I had the camera turned the wrong way for docking with the stern. Thankfully, though, we did not have to pull into a crowded marina for our first docking experience. After working on our skills, we sail to the next stop for the evening, which is always some kind of beautiful bay. Once we reach our destination and either get anchored or tied up to the mooring ball, we almost immediately jump in to cool off, and we snorkel around and check things out and enjoy the beach. These underwater shots are taken with my iPhone in a small plastic case, so they're not very good, but it gives you an idea of what's under there. After snorkeling, we clean up and we enjoy a sundowner on the boat, normally with a spectacular sunset. Sometimes we cook dinner on the boat, and other times we head to shore for dinner at amazing places, like the Paradise Beach Club, located on Carriacou. It's a casual place with a chill vibe right on the beach, and it has great drinks and food. Many of the cruisers who come through paint a sign with their boat name and leave it hanging. Do you recognize any boat names? The next evening, in a bay on the northwest side of Carriacou, we had dinner at this little gem. We enjoyed a beautiful sunset, beach exploring, a few cocktails, all the while being serenaded by steel drums. Okay, now I wished I could remember the name of this place because a small plywood shack produced all of this mouth-watering food. The last full day, as we headed back toward Prickly Bay on Grenada, the weather turned cloudy with scattered showers. It really felt good after a week of full, hot sun. Here you see John and I manning the helm on the way back, and we're working on our autopilot skills. We have completed our classes and have our certification, so now what? While John spent months researching various makes and models, getting to know the pricing, and watching how quickly they sold or didn't sell, I got to work figuring out the finances. Out of all the different makes and models of boats, we decided to focus on the smaller Leopard owner's version. Why Leopard, you ask? We felt this was the best quality boat in our price range, and Leopard is known for a nice compromise between living space and performance. The owner's version has 3 cabins and 2 heads, while the charter version has 4 cabins and 4 heads. But we really prefer the extra space that we would have in our own stateroom with an owner's version. We made an offer on this Leopard 39 in North Carolina, but the seller didn't accept it. We seriously considered this Leopard 39 in Mexico, but it was a charter version, and we decided we just weren't going to settle for a charter version. Then we found this little gem. It's a 2011 Leopard 39 owner's version, and it has all the accoutrements we would want for blue water cruising, plus it was a great price. The downside? It's located in Durban, South Africa. But we decided not to let the location stop us, so we made an offer, and the seller accepted it.